What are some really messed up experiments done in the name of science? U/deleted responded. The twin study done by the psychologists Neubauer and his team partnered with the Louise Wise Services Adoption Agency, where they found orphan twins, triplets, quadruplets etc., and willfully split them apart and adopted them to see the effects on these split siblings. Parents weren't informed that they were adopting half of a twin, instead they were informed that they were participating in a routine childhood development study. There was a documentary made about it called Three Identical Strangers. Triplets separated at birth and only discovered the other's existence when they were 19. Their adoptive parents, who were unaware their child was a triplet, reveal they would all get so upset when they were babies they would bang their heads on the side of their cribs. All three have battled mental health problems, and tragically Eddie took his own life after struggling with depression. Neubauer never expressed any remorse for his actions. All these psychologists saw the reports come in where babies were distraught and showing signs of clear emotional distress. And they didn't do anything to fix it. U/Arugula Current responded. Dr. Money, or Mooney's, gender experiment on twins. Twin boys born, both get circumcised, one however gets badly injured during the procedure. This DR decides to simply remove the baby's genitals and raise him as a girl, as an experiment. Kids' parents are game. They raise this child as a girl, including therapy sessions to just reiterate they are a girl, really lean into gender stereotypes, have lessons to teach the child their role sexually, such as being passive in bed. Hormone therapy, whole thing. No one ever tells the kid. Kids grows up, informs everyone they are pretty sure they are in fact a boy, eventually the truth comes out. Kid kills themselves. Asterisk, this is a hugely abridged version of events, put together by my hazy memory of a class like 7 years ago in gender studies. I will be shocked if I remembered all details correctly. U/Matrosi responded. A lot of the Nazi stuff, specially made my Mengele in Auschwitz. Injecting stuff in the eyes of babies to turn eye blues. Sterilizing women with x-rays. Vivisection, a dissection on pregnant women. Keeping a zoo of children twins to experiment on, most died before the liberations. Sewing together two twin brother to make a Siamese twin, spoiler, they died of horrible infections after agonizing for days according to survivors. Castrating children. U/Bedlamsatilamet responded. There was a disgusting experiment done by the German government called the Kentler experiment by sexologist Helmut Kentler in the 60s. That put foster children with known and convicted pedophiles. U/FH3131 responded. There have been many. The Tuskegee study is one example. From Wikipedia. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, informally referred to as the Tuskegee experiment, or Tuskegee syphilis study, was a study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service (PHS) and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) on a group of nearly 400 African Americans with syphilis. The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated, though by the end of the study medical advancements meant it was entirely treatable. The men were not informed of the nature of the experiment, and more than 100 died as a result. U/Cats and Alcohol 13 responded. In my PTSD course we learnt of an experiment they did on a colony of chimps, where they removed the amygdala from their brains. The part that controls the fight or flight response and many emotions like anxiety. They wanted to see if the chimps would be fearless. Well, they were, and also fucking nuts. They just started fucking everything, each other, trees, sticks, and killing each other. Edited for spelling. U/Sweaty Feedback 1482 responded. The experiment where Ted Kaczynski volunteered to do some psych experiment in college. He took LSD, but unbeknownst to him the other part of the experiment was after he was good and tripping balls they brought a revolving queue of his colleagues and professors, and had them take turns berating him and calling him an idiot and a loser. They said this is basically the origin story to the Unabomber. U/Unconstricted Emu responded. Justin Schmidt was a scientist who developed the Schmidt Pain Index. This measures the pain from various insects that Schmidt had bite into him. Some of these bugs include the bullet ant, the Asian giant hornet, and the tarantula hawk. While volunteering himself to be bitten is ethical, you can't deny it is a bit messed putting yourself through that kind of pain for science. As an aside, WTF. People actually think the Russian sleep experiment is real. U/Deleted responded. A bit more humane, but some guy raised a chimpanzee along with his son to see if the chimp would act like a human. Instead the kid started acting like a chimp. After the chimp was sent back to the chimp center, it died. The kid committed suicide at age 43. U/Klutzy_speech_6460 responded. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male was conducted by the United States Public Health Service, USPHS, and involved blood tests, X-rays, spinal taps, and autopsies of the subjects. The goal was to observe the natural history of untreated syphilis in black populations. The men were not informed of the nature of the experiment, and more than 100 died as a result. U/Rea of Sunshine_ responded. The triplet separation experiment. The identical triplets were purposefully placed in homes of differing incomes and didn't find out about one another's existence until college, on accident. They were never meant to find each other. All three ended up suffering from mental illness later in life, and one took his own life at age 33. U/Buckaroo J responded. There was this reality TV show called Kid Nation. Basically, they just plopped some kids 6 to 15 years old in a ghost town and expected them to form their own society. What ended up happening was they held the cash prize for staying a whole season on a string, making the kids feel obligated to stay and have to relive the more accurate pioneer, gold rush days. U/Deleted responded. Milgram obedience experiments. In the Milgram experiment, obedience was measured by the level of shock that the participant was willing to deliver. While many of the subjects became extremely agitated, distraught, and angry at the experimenter, they nevertheless continued to follow orders all the way to the end. U/swimming_anteater_93 responded. This wasn't for science. It was for some sick control of human population, but the 1970s mass sterilization of Native Americans. Over 3,400 Native American women were sterilized without permission. Look it up. Absolutely disgusting, and one of the most recent examples of genocide by attempting to end a bloodline with lies of necessity. When I read of it and think about it, I just want to puke for the horrid souls who believe they are in the right by erasing an entire race of people. U/Vietai87 responded. Without touch we die. Experiment on babies. King Frederick took babies from their mothers at birth and placed them in the care of nurses who were forbidden to speak in their hearing. But a second rule was imposed, as well. The nurses were not allowed to touch the infants. To his great dismay, Frederick's experiment was cut short, but not before something tragically significant regarding human nature was revealed. The babies grew up to speak no language at all because they died. Horrified. U/Firm Telephone 2570 responded. The Nazi experiments, specifically the ones done on children. The one that haunts me the most is the one that was done on twins. They were injected with illnesses and other things. Many victims that are alive today still don't know what they were injected with. There was an attempt to create conjoined twins by stitching them together to their organs and blood vessels. They ended up dying due to gangrene. U/Firm Telephone 2570 responded. The Nazi experiments, specifically the ones done on children. The one that haunts me the most is the one that was done on twins. They were injected with illnesses and other things. Many victims that are alive today still don't know what they were injected with. There was an attempt to create conjoined twins by stitching them together to their organs and blood vessels. They ended up dying due to gangrene. U/Deleted responded. Hypersexual male turkey. 2 researchers at the University of Pennsylvania have discovered that male turkeys, when placed in a room with a model of a female turkey, tend to become excited and go into mating, just as they would if it was a real turkey. This conclusion came from several interesting scientific experiments, where elimination played an important role. The scientists saw the results of these tests while gradually removing several pieces from the model of turkey. First, the tail, feet, and wings, then onto the body itself. They also noticed that the male was positive in this whole process. Even when the model had no body, the male turkey still responded sexually. Similar scientific experiments were conducted on white leghorn cocks. U/Soggy Negotiation 7412 responded. The Japanese, after they invaded China, did some horrendous experiments on prisoners. It was called Unit 731. If you really want to screw with your brain for the rest of your life, there is a full-on historical reenactment movie called Room 731, won lots of awards. There are some excerpts from the movie on YouTube showing some of the experiments. Viewer be warned. The really horrible part is the Japanese experimented on children and babies to see how much pain they could deal with before they died. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one.